people lose their sight as a result of vitamin A deficiency, an acute problem in Africa and Southeast Asia. Pregnant women and young children are particularly susceptible. The best way to overcome this is with a balanced diet. No, Martha, that doesn't mean burger and chips. No. The UN and lots of charities have given food supplies to these areas, but with little benefit. Before we get too far into the riveting subject of golden rice, let's have a little look at vitamin A. It is crucial for your eyesight. Eyes, Martha. Thank you. And forms the visual pigment in the eye called rhodopsin. Rosdopin. Rodspino? Rhodopsin. Right, first time. And is important for the differentiation of epithelial cells, as well as the synthesis of glycoproteins. And for your bones! Vitamin A only comes from animal sources. Sorry, veggies. Beta-carotene is converted into active vitamin A in the gut. Vitamin A is fat-soluble, so you need lipids in your diet for vitamin A to be properly absorbed. Rice already contains beta-carotene, but sadly it's only in the bits we don't eat. The bits that we do eat are called endosperm. Sperm. Beta-carotene is a photosynthetic pigment, hence why it's only found in the green bits of the plant. Somewhat inconvenient. Some sciencey chaps in Switzerland spent 8 years on a genetic engineering project to fix this little problem. Bet their social diaries were jam-packed. However, their lack of a social life paid off, and they managed to turn on the genes that created beta-carotene in the endosperm. This turned the grain golden, so they inventively called it golden rice. The metabolic pathway for photosynthesizing beta-carotene is about as complicated as it sounds, but luckily for you, and Martha's drawing skills, most of the enzymes were already present in the plant. Only 2 extra genes were needed to switch on the pathway, and they spent 8 years doing that. That's scientists for you. One of the genes, of which was found in a daffodil, phytotenine synthetase. Daffodil. That's not a daffodil. Daffodil. That's not a daffodil, Martha. Martha, we talked about this. Have you ever even seen a daffodil? No, don't storm out, okay? It's a daffodil, honestly. Other enzymes, such as CRT1 enzyme, were extracted from soil bacterium. These genes were inserted into the genome near a specific promoter sequence that tells the cell where to begin transcription. That's science speak for the genes were expressed and the endosperm began to store beta-carotene. Martha, you can stop drawing now. Thank you. Although it now contained the beta-carotene, the effectiveness of this new golden rice was questioned. People thought you'd have to eat an awful lot of the rice for it to have an impact. I mean, rice is tasty, but not that much rice. The new genetically modified golden rice was crossbred with the natural rice varieties in Louisiana, USA. These hybrids could produce 3 to 4 times more beta-carotene than the original golden rice. Now that's more like it. In 2005, some UK scientists, UK, developed a variety that contained 20 times more beta-carotene than the originals. They creatively called it Golden Rice 2. As with all science, there is the question of ethics. Greenpeace and Friends of the Earth are some of golden rice's biggest critics. Greenpeace argues that it could lead to a decrease in biodiversity and golden rice could breed with wild types of rice and contaminate them. They also say that as golden rice is a relatively new invention, we don't know the long-term effects. They may have negative impacts on long-term health, but when several thousand children go blind every year from vitamin A deficiency, it's a conundrum, all right.